Now, it's just 24 hours until we cast our votes in the general election. And of course, most of us will just go into a booth, we'll cross a box in secret, as you do. But what if you're blind? Well, campaigner Lucy Edwards has got everybody talking online, saying that polling stations need to do more, showing us some of the things that could help.
With lots of flaps that you can actually open, and then when you press it down, it reads the candidate. Neve. And then I go and make my anonymous vote. And all of this will now be in headphones. I'm going to mark in this box here. I know that that's the candidate I want. Why this is super important is that we as blind individuals are not voting in secret in polling stations in 2024 unless we have devices like these.
Lucy joins me now, along with Molly. Oh, Molly, beautiful Molly. This is something I honestly hadn't even thought about. You know, I hadn't. But of course, it's so important to yourself and people who are blind that you don't have the privacy that we're all entitled to.
Yeah, we don't, Lorraine. And there's 2 million people living with sight loss in the UK today. So there's 2 million of us who can't vote in secret tomorrow at our polling stations. Now, for the mayoral election, went in and I actually had an accessible voting device that is at the polling station for me. However, because it only has numbers in Braille and raised numbers as well, there's no actual Braille or tactile ability or vocal audio ability for me to actually hear the candidates. So I have to go in with a member of polling station staff, and often, you know, I do feel a little bit judged, although they're lovely. Yeah. But yeah, I always want to vote in secret.
Yeah, well, it's what you should be allowed to do. But this device that you were talking about there is amazing because that talks to you.
Yes, this is game-changing. So the current advice, although the RNIB, the Royal National Institute for the Blind, we currently have a petition going on, and you can actually put your name down because it isn't adequate, the current system that we have. So basically, the current advice is you have to ask your electoral commission a week in advance. So that's what I've done. And unfortunately, they cannot order the devices in for me in time. Right. So I am faced with tomorrow having to go and cast my vote and not know whether I've actually even got it in the box. Yeah.
Right, which could mean your vote is actually discarded.
Yeah,
even although you've gone there, you want to vote, as we all do. And it might not get counted.
This is the thing. Yeah. And what's also important about this, that I have my gorgeous husband, I trust him so much, but there's people out there that maybe don't have the support system that I do and will be guided into the polling station with maybe a member of their family if they've listed it beforehand, and they might not trust them wholly, and you want to be independent.
Sometimes people don't want other people to know, even the closest people to you. You want your vote to be yours. That's the whole point, isn't it?
The whole point.
Yeah, so
we just want those rights. Yeah.
So really what you want is for everybody to have access to this device.
We do.
There's a couple of devices I know, but to this one that will tell you, it actually talks to you. It's amazing.
That's the McGonagall reader, the one that you mentioned at the top of the piece. But yeah, there's also a USB device. So there's 2 ways you can do it, and all you have to do is basically fly the flag, email your electoral commission and just make them aware that this is going on, that this is happening, and we're going to be shouting about it, myself and the RNIB. We're both going to be kind of just making some waves about this after the election as well, because it needs to be standard.
No, definitely. Honestly, it's a brilliant thing that you're doing, and you're an amazing campaigner for anyone who is blind or is partially sighted or whatever it may be, because you lost your vision when you were a teenager, didn't you?
I did, Lorraine. Yeah. So I was 17 years old, and I've been on such a journey from then. I feel like a completely different person. I'm now 28, so I've been 11 years blind, but back then, you know, I had to learn how to live again. I had to pour a cup of tea for the first time, go out with my previous guide dog, Olga, but I've obviously got gorgeous Miss Molly with me. But they are my eyes. And, you know, when you first hold that harness and put your life in the hands of a little kind of doggy, you're like, oh my gosh, do I do this just to get a loaf of bread? And those first moments are so scary. And I always say I'm 11 years blind, and, you know, I've only been 11 years in this current body, but I love being blind now. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Do you really? That's an amazing place to be in. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Now, you're Ollie. When did you meet him, your husband?
So I met Ollie before I lost my vision.
So you know what Ollie looks like. But he'll be frozen in your mind. Just what age would he?
Frozen as a 16-year-old, which he is very happy. He's like, you'll never see me go grey, Luce. You'll never see me lose my hair. I was like, I can feel it though, babe. But no, it's really sweet, and we're business partners as well. So we're very much in each other's pockets,
fantastic.
but we love that.
And your wedding was very special. I loved what you did so that everybody could experience what you were experiencing. They all were blind masks.
Yeah, they were blindfolded. Yeah. So, but I think me and Ollie kind of conjured up that plan because he was like, well, Luce, your reality is just as valid as my reality. Like the blind reality is what we live. And even though he's completely sighted, like he just wanted to kind of fly the flag for blindness. And we had lots of smells going up the aisle, so I knew where I was, and it kind of graduated in scent. So I didn't. And then we also hired 3D audio. They did the music for the proms, and yeah, it was epic. I had such a fun time.
That sounds incredible, especially the smell, especially, beautiful scents, that, and when you smell those scents again, that just brings back your beautiful, beautiful day. I know the two of you are thinking, in the future about having babies, and you would be doing IVF.
Yes, we will. So I am blind because of a rare genetic condition called incontinentia pigmenti. Massive mouthful, but it runs down the female line of my genes. And that basically just means that I would pass it on to my children.
Right.
Although my mother and my late grandma, they don't have blindness. Like, they didn't lose their eyesight. It's a fluke that it happened in me.
Right.
And basically it just means that if I was sitting here in front of you, Lorraine, I could have all sorts of different kind of... It's basically multifaceted. Yeah. But I might not have survived at all if I was a male. My late grandma had 9 miscarriages and they were all males.
Oh,
yeah, so it's just to stop that happening, and also, I guess, just have the autonomy over my body. And it's a massive topic. I think just IVF in my circles, like I'm getting to the age, I'm 28, all my friends were talking about babies, and some of my closest friends are also having IVF, not just because of their genes, but other things. But it means that in 2024 I can have gene testing, and it's a massive topic that I would love to do a documentary on one day.
Do you know, you should. I was actually just having exactly the same thoughts. I'm thinking this is a massive, massive topic. Huge. And what an amazing thing that, should you choose to do that, they can get that regressive gene and get rid of it. Totally. So that your babies would be fine and would be viable. You've got to do it. Right, we'll put it out there. We'll put it out there.
We've got to manifest. And honestly, I always say that I love my life with a disability, but I just wouldn't want my children to necessarily go through the loss that I've had, and the sense of, I guess, just the sense of loss is the thing. If I could say to you tomorrow, yes, I would have a child that was born blind, I would be able to be like, yeah, you can be an independent queen. It's amazing. But I just don't know that. So, yeah.
Of course. No, it makes sense. Thank you so much for coming in, Lucy. And I want to see that documentary. Yeah. And Molly, thank you. She's so chilled.
I know.
She's just lying at your feet.
Oh, so cute. We're talking about your 2 doggies as well.
Dogs we don't deserve dogs.
Oh,
They're the bestest things.
Cute.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you so much.